Hello, CPC. This is John Ranheim. I'm one of the elders here, and want to briefly answer a couple of questions for you as we are considering this new project, this piece of property just down the street from the church. Question's been asked, what has been a part of the sessions process in bringing us to this point? It's a great question. If you were to look back 12 and even 18 months ago, our church was running on all cylinders. We're a fellowship church. We love spending time together, and our building is almost always being used. One of the things that we as a session had identified, and many of you had spoken into, is that even as a church that does so many things, we really were lacking in space, a fellowship hall that would facilitate a lot of the meals and things that we regularly do. And so a year ago, we were exploring a building campaign to build onto our current facility. And we had prayerfully looked into it with architects and everything else, and had sought various teams from groups from within the church to give input. And then COVID hit, and the pandemic was upon us, and we were forced into our homes and into a virtual and digital space as a church. Our staff and pastors have done a wonderful job in caring for us and continuing to help us grow and be in connection with each other. But as a session, while we have certainly pivoted in our care, we've not lost sight of the needs of the church, and we've continued to pray about how best to address and meet these needs when we come back together. And one of our prayers has been for the Lord to open and close doors if we should pursue the plans that were on the table 12 months ago, or should we consider something new, something different? Well, about 2 months ago, something new and something different showed up. Pastor Hugh was driving around in his car, and he saw the sign to rent the facility down the street. And after looking into it, we realized renting is a little expensive, but it was for sale. And not only was it for sale, it ended up being at a much better price than any of us had expected. In fact, it started to sound like a pretty good fit. So we began to explore and began to pray, which is what we've done for the last few months. And now we've really asked for a lot of your input, you as a congregation, as we've seen how this both meets the needs that we had identified a year ago, and potentially some other needs that we had not even thought of. And we've wondered, is this God's provision for us in ways we had not expected? The timing is certainly interesting. No one would have expected navigating through a pandemic. And yet we're excited about the future as we would even want to be back together again. I hope this helps give a little bit of a snapshot of what we've been doing. And I hope you would continue to pray with us that the Lord would open and close doors and lead us as his people as we come back together. Thanks again.